Welcome. This is the Life Habits podcast series, and my name is Carl Vredenberg. This is a series that helps you to learn new habits to optimize your life in order to stay sane in this crazy world. This is episode number 32, and this one is going to be an interview format. Some numbers of episodes ago, I think it was actually episode number 16, I did an interview, and I asked those of you who listen to this podcast series for input on whether that format was one that you liked, or whether you liked to keep the format with me speaking alone. And the feedback was quite strong that we continue to do just podcasts with me speaking a bunch of the time, but that there was also really strong interest in having guest speakers on the podcast periodically as well. So this is now the 32nd episode. I think it's time to have a guest speaker on. I'm delighted to have with us today Mandy Kloppers, who's a psychologist from the UK. She's also the founder of a really innovative new approach to providing help to people via text hear about. Let me welcome Mandy Kloppers to this session. Welcome. Maybe we could start, Mandy, by you providing a little bit of background about yourself. I mean, I've read your bio and seen that you've had kind of an interesting life that's also spanned some continents. So I wonder if you could just tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, sure. I'm 38 now, and I grew up in South Africa, and I travelled a little bit, moved to Belgium 2 years, studied part-time, took me 9 years to get my degree, and started that in South Africa, and did another 2 years in the UK to get my degree recognised here. And yeah, it's been an interesting life. I guess I've had a lot of health problems along the way, and interesting relationships which I also had in my life, and things that made me who I am today, and helped me to understand life more. I think it's made me stronger, and I think it's made me able to help other people in that I've experienced a lot of things myself. I'm not just talking from a textbook. I've done things, I've learned how to overcome things, change my thinking, so yeah, I think it's given me good grounding for where I am now.
Well, great. And the conversations that we've had via email to Mandy about really the topics to cover in a session that we could do together have spanned a variety of interesting topics. And I know you've also had a look at what we've covered in this series to date, and asked you to come up with a topic, theme that may be appropriate that we hadn't necessarily covered in depth in the past, and one that you feel passionate about yourself. And I wonder if you could just describe what that overall theme is.
Yeah, sure. It's about basically how you perceive the world, and how your perception of things is very important, how you interpret what happens to you. And it's often not what happens to you, it's how you react to it. I think that can make or break the way you see life, or can help you through life when you're having a tough time. And the topic I wanted to cover was about self-confidence and self-belief, and how this can either hinder you if you don't have enough of it, or it can open up all sorts of opportunities for you if you do know how to improve your self-confidence. And I've never worked with anybody in the past who hasn't wanted to improve their self-confidence. So I think even the people you see out there who's, celebrities, are really confident. I think everybody I've met, so I think it's a global, worldwide issue.
I've also thought myself as a parent, and I think I mentioned that in one of the previous episodes too, when we talked about the things in reflection in terms of being a parent, that one of the most important attributes that you can instill in the children of all the others that are possible, probably the one and most important is in fact the one you chose here, of self-confidence. That one, if you are missing that in your life, it can compromise all kinds of areas of success, all roles in your life. It can also, conversely, if you do really well, being very confident and really understanding yourself well, can also lead to all kinds of success. So great topic. I think it's incredibly important. I'm delighted that you chose that. before we get into, and I was delighted to hear that you also even came up with a top 10 list, which is the listeners of this series know is the format that I often use in going through these. And so I was really delighted about that. And one of the other things that we do in the series is come up with some quotes that are interesting to share as well. And I know that you had also said that you have some favorite quotes of yours. So maybe before we get into the sort of self-confidence top 10 list, and likely share some of your quotes that you wanted to provide as well.
Yes, I have a few favorite ones. I even have one in my diary. I can check every now and then when I need to just give it a boost. And one of the very well-known ones, obviously by Henry Ford, is whether you think you can or you can't, you're probably right. And I think that really sums it up nicely, that how you look at things and how you limit yourself by the beliefs you have about yourself and your capabilities. That is often quite defining in how far you can get and what you can actually do. So that's one quote that I love. And then there's another one here. When you are content to be simply yourself and don't compare or compete, everybody will respect you. And that is by somebody called Lao Tzu. And I just think, true happiness comes from being true to yourself, trying to be who you are, liking who you are, trying to be the same person no matter who you're with. And we all change a little bit to fit in with the different types of people in our lives and the different relationships. But being true to the core of who you are, I think is really important. And then the last one, sorry, I've got two more here.
Mm-hmm.
The other one is by Eleanor Roosevelt. And it says, nobody can make you feel inferior without your consent. Which again is about whatever happens to you, how you perceive that and how you react to that, and whether you allow people to put you down and define you, or whether you say, hold on a second, I'm in control here, I decide how I am, who I am. And my last quote is, if you really put a small value upon yourself, rest assured that the world will not raise your price, and that is by also unknown. And I think that you're not going to champion yourself and be your own best friend and do it.
Excellent quotes, Mandy, and I think they're. I really find quotes to be inspiring, and I know a lot of other people do too. That, like you say, every once in a while you go to your diary, remind yourself of some of these key ideas. I've had some of these sitting around my desk, and some people think they're corny. I think they're immensely useful to motivate you. I think they're also directly relevant to the topic that we're going to be talking about today as well. And so maybe we can get into your top 10 list. What's number one?
Okay, well, my number one is that, again, based on the topic of self-confidence and self-belief, is that your current life is the result of your past thoughts and your past beliefs. And basically, where you are in your life right now is the direct result of how your life history, what you've done in your past, what you've thought about, what you've been telling yourself about what you can achieve and can't achieve, has brought you to where you are today. So it's basically showing you how important thoughts are in the process of life. And I think a lot of us don't even realize that we have these thoughts. They've been programmed into us from an early age. And it's only when you start looking at the way you talk to yourself, your inner dialogue, that you start to understand what might be holding you back in life and why you're not able to achieve certain things. You might be telling yourself that you can't do it, and then so you never try because you just don't think that that's something that will ever be available to you. But if you start changing your beliefs about yourself, why can't I do that? And just challenge yourself a little bit more, and just be aware of the thoughts that you have. You might be able to feel feel possible.
Me too, Mandy, that some people just aren't aware that they're actually having those thoughts.
self-belief at the same time, and there's not congruence between the two, I think that the self-doubt will lead to self-sabotage on some level, and that you'll be looking for examples that confirm that you're not capable.
Mm-hmm.
So it's about stepping up your self-belief to keep in line with your dreams and your ambitions and this better, bigger person that's out there. Well, it's in you, should I say, that you need to work towards and not keep yourself small.
Very, very good one to start as a number one to really get a handle on, what's going on with regard to your what you're actually saying to yourself. What's your number two?
Exactly. Number two is that a little bit what I've touched on already. Analyze your internal dialogue and identify the limiting self-beliefs that you hold. And what we have is that we can often find that we're telling ourselves that we're unattractive, and this is shaping all our interactions. And if we feel unattractive, we're probably giving off that body language that we are unattractive, and other people will take cues from that and treat us accordingly. So it's almost like your inner world becomes your reality. What you think, you create
Mm-hmm.
on many levels. So it's about trying to stop yourself and just identifying what it is that's holding you back, what thoughts are not working for you, what thoughts are saying you're not capable of doing something, or that you're overweight, or that you're unattractive, or that you're unlovable, whatever it is. You need to try and find those, because a lot of the time, as I said before, they could come from your childhood, and they're so ingrained. They've been, said to you over and over, perhaps by an authority figure that you trusted at that time, and you've never really challenged them. And as you get older, a lot of those thoughts